going on, guys? So, Dan here, DD Speed Shop. Today, I bought myself a little Christmas present. And, well, in all reality, you guys bought the Christmas present. So, thanks anybody who subscribes to the channel and watches the ads and, you know, all those things. This is what I wasted my money on. Danny put the bow on it so it feels real special or whatever. Motor transmission. So, paid up a little bit, not gonna lie, but it's pretty cool. So it's a 350 Chev, and that's a turbo 350 transmission. But this is all basically new stuff, or very low mileage, I should say. So this motor here, I found out about this probably about a month ago, and anybody who's local to Winnipeg, this is a Ken Murray built motor, which is, he's kind of the guy, and everybody says they have a Ken Murray built motor. Everybody does. But this one came with the bills, dyno sheets, the whole deal, and I'm hoping it's not all forged. I mean, whatever. I bought off a guy I super trust. It's got like a money back guarantee, so we're all good on it. So it's a 350, 4-bolt main, you know, forged crank. It's got the pistons, it's got all that sort of stuff. It's got a set of Edelbrock aluminum cylinder heads on it. I mean, it's roller rockers, it's all clean, it's mint. So it was built a few years ago, but has very, very few miles on it. So this was actually in a 67 or 68 Camaro. Unfortunately, the guy passed, and his wife wanted to drive the car, but the motor was a little too rowdy, so they put it out, pulled this motor out and put in a stock motor. That was the whole plan. So this thing came with a dyno sheet and everything in that car, and I don't know what it had for driveline stuff in it. Well, it had turbo 350, but a rear end, I don't know. It made like 305 or something like that horsepower to the rear wheels at like 6,000 RPM. So, I don't know, 320, 340, 350 horse, you know, kind of motor, fairly conservative, but should be lots for this hot rod. These fender well headers were like closeout on sale on eBay, so I bought them, and now to have them on there, they're probably terrible, but they're 200 bucks. It did come with a set of brand new headers. These are supposedly for a Camaro. I don't know if they'll fit Tri-5 or not. I'll do some research on it. He gave me the torque converter out of it, so it's a bit of a stall, nothing crazy, you know, obviously by size of it, but it's a little more than he wanted to turn the Camaro back to a stock driver, which is a really nice car. And I bought this Turbo 350, which is a reman unit with a shift kit. So we'll have a shift kit Turbo 350 with, I don't know, maybe a 25-2800 stall in that range, and you know, 350-ish horsepower small block Chevy, which I gotta make these fender wells work at some point. Just a couple of curves on them or something, or at the very least we'll fire it up like this with open headers. These are like actual race car ones. They don't have flanges on them. Put a couple of strategic bullhorns down and we can make anything work. So yeah, Merry Christmas, and thanks. Like I said, thanks for watching. Thanks for sitting through the ads. And these savings accounts are way overrated. I mean, I'd rather have quarter panels than a small block Chevy. So it's in really nice shape, but you know what? It's got just some road grime on it. So I picked up some brake clean and a little bit of Chevy orange. Tonight, I spent the day running around because the motor came from one place, transmission from another, and all that sort of stuff. But we're gonna spray paint it, make it look nice. It's got, you know, Moroso oil pan on it, the whole deal. It's a nice motor. The guy, it came with $10,000 worth of bills. So someone got ripped off. Hopefully it wasn't me. And we'll jam this thing in maybe tomorrow. I'm waiting on the transmission cross member yet. It was supposed to be here today, but mail. Hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. So I like to get the motor trans set in, and then we can do brake lines, the master, the booster. We rebuild the whole front end, figure out what we want to do for exhaust, if this will work, if those headers will work, whatever we got to do. But I think this is kind of the next step. So that's all we're doing tonight. Pretty mellow, but I'll be back tomorrow. We'll jam this thing together, or maybe it'll already be together, and then Danny can film me struggle, put this thing in. Sounds like a plan? See you tomorrow. Next day, we give her a fresh shiny paint job there. Obviously I didn't do the cylinder heads or nothing like that. Intake manifold, it's an old Holley single plane, which is good. I mean, nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's not a ton around though, so we'll see what happens if that stays on there. Nice one around, torqued. The flex plate or whatever ring gear is good. No issues there. The water pump off, it's all painted. I used my torque converter. This is one that came with it, which is kind of miscellaneous. It's probably fine. This is the one that I had. This is a B&M one I've had for a while. This is actually in Danny's car for a while there, in her transmission. So we'll switch them around because I know this one's pretty loosey-goosey. It should be good. I just did this. I took 2 bolts. I cut the heads off, made a little round for a couple of kind of guides. So when you put the transmission on, you can kind of set it on there, plunk it on. It'll fit into the dowels. I'll put 4 bolts in, take those out, put 2 more bolts in. We'll be good. I'm sure you guys all know with the torque where you put it in, you kind of spin it and it clicks, 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 and it kind of goes in. Once it's, you know, back 1.5 inches or so, it's in there and it's good. You can feel it. It has some resistance. It's up against the pump, so that's fine. Yeah. But I think there's a whole lot else going on. It's when you buy a motor, it's basically done and known good. There aren't any issues in the truck. Oh, I got motor mounts. They're in the truck. I got to get those. The trans cross member showed up. It's inside. I got to go get that. And it's kind of, you know, I'm not going in yet. What else we got going on? I think basically it's motor mounts. I got to plug them in. In the previous video, I did drill it out, so it's ready to just kind of be sat in there. And I like to weld them in. So front clip has to come off. Well, it doesn't have to, but you can make life 1,000 times easier. It's not too bad a day. Might be nice to leave it on jack stands. We'll see if I do that and make it a little easier to slide her in. It's just a small block Chevy going in a 55 Chevy with no front clip. It's all together, so hoist transmission on, motor mounts in, and I'll put a carb plate on it to dangle it. Unfortunately, the engine crane, you can see it there, is at the back. Yeah. We'll fit her around. So that's the plan for the rest of the day. Get the motor in, get it bolted in. Weld the front of the mounts. I'll probably put a ratchet strap on the transmission to hold it in place. Then we'll screw around with the transmission cross member, set the angle up and down that we want, and then we can measure up for a drive shaft, because that's important stuff. We need those things. Okay, I got the transmission kind of close. Mur always said just give him a call whenever I need just a little bit of help lifting something. He's only 5 minutes away. He decided to move away for 6 months a year, so this is on humor if I throw my back out. And people always say I'm wearing my cowboy boots wrong. Which goes. Alright. Oh, wrong hole, dummy. Perfect. Oh, I probably should have brought some bolts. Damn it. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, back with bolts and supplies. It's all about planning. All heavy. This one. They're rolled on the dowel, and we're good. It's all aligned. Ooh. That was a little snug. Alright, let's jam these together. One of these got to come back out for the dipstick tube. And I got to hook up kick down. Really, we're good. Alright, so we got just a few things to take care of here before we can get her hoisted into the car. These are the motor mounts I want to go with, so these will bolt to the side of the unit. These solid motor mounts, I don't know, I like them. This will fit on the car in some way, shape, or form. I got bolts for it, so there you go. That'll be the way that works. The other two things, we have kick down cable, which is here, and we have a dipstick tube. I want a locking one, so we'll put that in real quick. The way the kickdown works is very simple. There's like a little spring, I don't know if that's what it is in there, but basically just hook this little loop on there, and yeah, it's just that easy. So you kind of pull it out, put it in, hook it around, and then as you accelerate, it'll pull on the cable and pull this little spring and drop you down a gear. So this is now hooked up, and you can, it's got just that little bit of play, that's all you need. So I'll jam this thing in there. It has a little bolt. Should go in there. What's going on? Okay, I'm struggling. But we'll deal with that later. Next thing is transmission. So this has a little plug in it. Now, this has a little rubber gasket that just goes in the transmission. Let me get it off here. So this just goes in there. Kind of like that. This is taking too long. Anyways, that'll go in there. This will then plunk in there, and I'll put one bolt to the transmission. So we'll get this all on, and then I'll show you. I thought I could do something in real time, but I guess I just don't have the skills for it today. So this unit, it's all together. We got our motor mounts on, transmission linkage, all that stuff is there. We're good. Now I'll just show you what the next step of the plan is. So that motor's ready to go in, but we don't have anywhere to put it. Because Tri-5 Chevys actually ran on here. There's a front mount motor. This is what we're going to use. These are side saddles. I've already, like I said, pre-drilled, so they fit there. And they go like that. Now I have marked it around there. I'm going to clean this up with the grinder down to bare metal. I'm going to clean this up around the edges and bevel it. And then I'll bolt on here, because there was rivets, so I'll bolt it on there. The back will stay kind of, loosey-goosey, because you might want to do just a little bit of this. We'll get the motor and trans exactly where I want it, and then I weld the snot out of the fronts. That's my plan, my way I enjoy doing it. And then it's good for small block Chevy, and even a big block Chevy with that. Ain't going nowhere. A lot of the mounts you buy, they actually weld in anyways. These ones I like because they kind of get you in the ballpark. The weld in ones, you'll hang them on the pedestals, put the motor where you want it, and then weld it all together like that. So, but yeah. We got the plate on the top. That's all we're going to use to kind of guide in and out. We don't need the 4 saddle thing. It should be pretty easy. So, I'm going to get to work taking the front clip off real quick, put it outside, and then we'll have lots of room to get in here, assemble it, and I think the next time you see us, Danny's out right now, but she'll be back, and we'll be loading this thing in. And I actually got to go get that transmission cross member real quick. Front clip is off. Motor mounts are, 2 bolts are in. Like I said, it still gives you just a little bit of kind of whatever you want to do, wiggle room, which is nice to have before I buzz that in. This is a trans cross member. This is like an El Cheapo from Summit. I think it was $99 maybe. So this will actually fit like that. So it gives you kick-ups wherever you need for the exhaust if we decide to run exhaust through the chassis. And then these, gentle buddy, these just fit on the end, and you can cut it to fit. Cut it to fit. What I'll probably do is put that all together, and I'll weld a piece of, basically the same as this angle onto the inside of the frame. That'll sit on top, drill 2 holes, bolt it in, take the whole mess off. Once it's on, you weld it all in, no big deal. That's where we're at, waiting on Danny to come home. It's gonna be tight in here. I think the door's probably going up, unfortunately, so that's going to be a little lame. So I have to struggle around and slide it in. My only other concern now, this thing does have a bigger than stock Moroso pan. So it sticks out a couple of inches. I'm almost certain that's going to hit the steering. Because it does have to fit behind here, and I think that extra inch it will hit, because it's close, especially with these mounts which move everything 3/4 inch forward. It's very common. I've found this problem before. So I'm going to loosen the steering, so if we have to, we can just take it right off, and then with some motors in, we can pull the pan off, modify the pan, put it back together. But that's usual hot rod and stuff. Or I mean, I could put a stock pan on it, but this one's all set up the same and all that, so that's good. Yeah, we're just waiting for Danny, so I'm going to clean up a little bit, get it nice and warm in here so we can up, over, in, and we're done. Yeah, we're done. Okay, so doors up because it's winter. And I did drop the steering, so I thought, there's no way this is going to go in easy. Danielle has the bolts. So hopefully, this will have enough of this car plate. Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Good angle. Maybe I'll roll it right in. I really thought I'd be doing this in a bigger garage. So either I work too fast or construction works too slow. You
work too fast because they're going pretty fast.
Or a combination of the two. I guess I'll go easier than the convertible. Is that the last one we did?
Yeah.
It went swimmingly.
No.
What's the worst that could happen? Get a little cranky?
Huh?
Get a little cranky?
Yeah.
It's only a small block Chevy going where a small block Chevy should be.
That's why we have a second house. Because when you yell at me for nothing I've done...
The cool down house?
That's where you can go.
How do I gotta go? This is another Murr thing.
There's a tire there.
Thanks, sweetie.
Moving away really is like...
It's a hassle.
Such a hassle.
He's part of the team. He's the only other part of the team. He's 50%.
What am I?
Expensive. Whoops. I did all that work to the firewall. What the? There.
Thrust.
It's when you see the swing and you know it's gonna hit. Not bad. Let's turn the heat on.
All good noises.
Fine. I think we're pretty good. That's where we need Murrs, the jack man. Pretty close though.
I can be your jack woman.
Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we could have been on this, couldn't we?
Not being part of the team.
We really weren't. Oh, really? Shoot up the firewall there. Bad, not bad. Hopefully it won't fall off the jack. Somebody didn't tighten that. So far it's going okay. This is where it got ugly on the convertible though.
You mean pull the jack stand?
I think I'll just spin it a little crooked. I think it'll self-align. What we got on? Yep, that's. Underneath this job.
Why? You're so mediocre at it.
Thank you. There.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't see that coming.
Did we not break up?
This counts like 10 minutes?
5.
If anyone is charging you more than 7 minutes to do a small block Chevy install, I don't care what the book says.
This has been the smoothest I think we've ever had.
It's probably my 20th small block Chevy, so I was due for a
Win?
For a win, yeah. This car fought me pretty hard. I think it's some cars I think appreciate being brought back to life. This is probably one of them. If it was left for dead. Can you give the jack a pump without screwing the camera up, or don't ask too much of you?
Keep going?
Yeah, pump it. Oh, no, hang on. Go on this end. Oh, we're so close. So close. Hey, give another pump action, see what happens. Hey, hang on. Seems to be. The motor's a little rocked over. For some reason. Thought we had it.
I'm pretty close though, still.
Nice. Yeah. Pretty close is like second best. Ooh, jammered. Okay, so 15-minute job. Put it down a little bit. Oh, it's so stuck. There we go. Yes. Can you twist that? Hey. No, yeah, put it on the, yeah, there you go. Slowly.
Left?
Yep. Oh. Not bad. Perfect, actually.
You've
Boom.
been giving me a lot of attitude in this.
Today?
Just now.
I don't think so.
Can you handle the camera and the jack at the same time?
Oh, I thought that was being, gentlemanly.
You're not part of the team. Whoa, too much, too much. Oh, actually, that was perfect.
You're behind the scenes. Excuse me.
No respect.
You got a fair bit of respect. No. Oh! Oh, that's good. Just joking. Just joking. Just joking.
I didn't even hook the thing.
Drop it down. A little more. Yeah, a little more. Perfect. Installed.
Under 10.
Under 10, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Still got on the jack. There's lots of room there. I think steering is going to be a problem.
As it usually is.
Unfortunately. do sell a kit that doesn't move the motor. Kind of like this one. We'll just see right quick. Oh, what the hell? Oh yeah, she's bumped up. I'll need some light trimming. I'm thinking. It's a bummer.
Where's the bump? Oh.
Well, the steering's disconnected right now, but when you go to put it, and I believe when you crank it side to side, the center link goes backwards, so I'll have to be chopping that out, but the oil pan should come off in the car. We do have to take the steering off anyways to redo it. Oh, I wonder if these headers will fit these ridiculous headers that I bought. They were on sale, but I'm thinking they were a poor decision. Oh yeah, they don't fit at all. Not even kind of fit. That's a bummer.
Same one for the next.
Well, those are for like a race car, I guess, but that steering box hits. But we do have these other headers, which the one side probably will fit. This side always fits easy. Oh, it doesn't. Well, exhaust. Who'd have thought? I guess we'll have to mess with that a little bit. There's a guy that's got a set of headers for sale right now. I'll go buy them, I guess. Bummer. I was hoping for something cool like this, but these really slant backwards. Unless I had one on the wrong side? No. So it would point upwards, yeah. These are for a race car. And eBay. Okay, so motor's in. 15-minute job, no big deal, anybody can do it. I think that's where we'll probably leave it. I'll put the front clip on, and I might size up the transmission mount. But realistically, small block in, we've got lots of room and everything. The only thing we're going to have to fight is the exhaust and the oil pan, just a small amount. I'll probably weld these mounts in now because I think they're happy. Looks pretty straight. Yeah. Time for supper break. See you in a bit. Well, unfortunately, we've hit a pile of roadblocks. We've got it up on stands, obviously, and the ratchet strap is just holding the kind of motor and transmission where it should be. The crossmember kit I ordered, I thought had a mount in it. It does not, so I don't have a transmission mount, which is kind of important. Also, it's the bolts that put the mount to the transmission are 7/16 shorties, which I don't have. I only have long ones. So if I had a mount, I was gonna like put a hockey puck or something there. It's like, it's a bunch of screwing around. So I can't really put the mount in, or I can't put the cross member in to the proper mount. I mean, you'd be guessing, and I don't want to do that. So hit a roadblock there. And I mean, the oil pan steering is gonna be a gong show, but I feel like that should be a video together. And I can't really do that until the motor and trans is in place, and it's just one of those things. So until the motor is 100% locked into place, not much I can do. So I think I'm gonna throw a towel in for a night. We'll get it done tomorrow. All it needs is one mount and 2 bolts, but it's like 8:30, everything's closed, and I'm not gonna race around if someone is open and try and find something. So I think we're gonna take it easy. Tomorrow, motor will be in. I mean, honestly, it went in pretty easy. I can't complain. Everything fits nice. The headers are a bummer. what are you going to do? We'll deal with that down the road a little. We still got a ways where we're going to try and start it, I think, because we got plumbing up the wazoo. So, yeah. But, bummer for me, but it'll be right into the video with a little, like, clock fade or something like that. And we'll be putting the transmission in, cross member in. Okay, it's next day. We got a bag full of hardware. I do have the transmission kind of where the motor transmission, I should say, where I want it. So we're, I don't know, 2 3/4 degrees down. So the way this works, you just kind of put it on some sort of flat spot. I did the cross member of the frame, zero it out, put it on there, and obviously you can play with it. It goes more or less. So we're in the ballpark, 2 1/2, 3 degrees downward is what I like with the floor jack, adjusting it so this strap is obviously now doing nothing. So we've got that. We have the angle where we want it. Now you just got to measure, I'll get under it, but you got to measure the tail shaft to make sure it's centered between the frame rails, so it's going straight-ish. And I mean, we're just going for close enough, right? That's what U-joints are for. I do have the cross member under. I put a new mount on the transmission, and it's currently bolted to the transmission. That's what's holding the cross member up. So once we have everything centered, side to side, the height, it's going to be where it's going to be. And then just want to make sure it's not crooked. Pretty simple. We'll get everything a quick tack weld. So I think that's what I'm going to do right now. I'll tack everything together, and then we'll take the cross member out because we have to weld the ears on it, and then weld my mounts to the frame. That should be good. And then the mounts are a little meh. They could be a little thicker, but I might box them in or do something. And as you can see, the front front motor mounts are basically where they're going to be, so we can blast those in as well. And the motor is locked into place. And yeah, that's it for today, or this video. So we'll start off downstairs. So we got the mount into the transmission. This is, I just painted that, I probably shouldn't touch it, but wait. We got basically as high as we can. It's actually above the frame. I still got to paint that, obviously. That'll give us a straight shot, so right there is where the exhaust loop is for. So this is nice and high. Get the exhaust up as much as we can. We got, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches or so before we hit the floor. So we got it centered, bolted in. That's taken care of. On the side, this little mount here, I mean, if I want, I could build a little, side on it. But I think it'll be plenty strong. The material I use is the same size as the material of the cross member, which leads me to believe it'll be perfect. We'll get up here. So, everything. I welded up the front mounts, so that's good. It's like 2.5-ish degrees. Every time you touch it, it's different. 3 degrees there, so between 2.5 3 degrees angle downways. That's all you need. So that's where we're gonna leave it. Thanks again for watching the ads and buying me this motor for Christmas, because I really appreciate that. And oh, I put the ram horns on. There's lots, like oodles and scoodles of space. The big issue on these things is the two headers, the pipes that come out here, they got somewhere to go, and usually they end up kind of interfering with this box. Like, you grind it down, do whatever you gotta do, but they're a hassle. This will be enough to start the machine, and I gotta decide if I want to run. I think it's only like 2 1/4, 2 1/8 diameter out, which kind of choked the motor a little bit. More than anything, the sound headers give, especially with the big, camshaft and all, it just sounds better. So we'll see what I want to do down the road. There's a guy that's got some for sale locally, but they're a few bucks, and right now with the way the world was shipping, I set up eBay's like 3 weeks, 4 weeks away, so we're going to carry on anyways. We got lots of work to do. This isn't like we need exhaust tomorrow. So in the back of my head, I'll keep her going. We got to do a whole front dress, all that sort of stuff. But I think we're going to do next, before the front clip goes on, I have all the stuff to rebuild the front suspension, and we're going to have an interference, I believe, with this oil pan. So that's where we're leaving it here. Next video we'll do tie rods and center link bushings and all that. Put that together. If we luck out on the oil pan, we'll carry on something else. I feel like oil pan's coming off this thing in the car. Doing a little slicing and dicing and welding her back together. So that'll be a fun day. We're going to start that right after supper tonight. But next video for you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Comment below, and look how nice this looks. It's not even a junker anymore. See you later.